Hello there. My name is Victoria Praise Abraham. I'm the CEO, founder, Vic Abraham Media Nigeria Limited. I'm a motivational writer, speaker. I'm a psalmist, a poet, amongst many other things. Today, I'm going to be talking to us on what I've titled Expand Your Scope. Expand your scope and your horizon and expand your scope and your horizon. In life, we are limited by many things. We are limited by our thoughts. We're limited by our environments. We're limited by our experiences. We're limited even by our potentials. A lot of things limit us. Sometimes even the weather can limit us. But today's talk is about breaking the barriers of our limitations. It's about expanding your scope. It's about expanding your horizon. What is your scope? Your scope is that your mindset, that your your mind capacity, your scope, where you think, where you decide, where you take action, where you do the things that you need to do to be able to make progress. That is what it means when I say your scope. Your horizon is that space that is ahead of you that you need to reach. How do you reach your new horizons? How do you uh, become better? How do you become greater as a human being? How do you do greater exploits than you've ever done before? It starts with our thinking. It starts with our mind. It starts with our heart. You need a large heart to be able to expand your scope and your horizon. You need a massive mind to be able to uh, properly channel your thinking, your thoughts into actions so that your actions can birth, things that are amazing and phenomenal. So it starts with our thinking, your thought. What are you thinking about per time? How are you engaging your mind? How are you envisioning? How are you seeing tomorrow? How do you see today? How do you see your yesterday? Your yesterday is gone. It's a cancelled check. It can never ever come back to you. It's gone. Today is all you and I have. Tomorrow is a promise in the hands of God. So, back to our topic: expand your scope and your horizon. Like I said, it starts with a thought in your mind. What do you want to do? What do you want to build? What do you want to create? It starts as tiny as that. But to expand it means you make it bigger, you make it larger, you make it greater, you make it smarter. That is what it means to expand your scope. What about your horizons? Your horizon is usually way ahead of you. It's your tomorrow. How do you today expand into tomorrow? How do you envision tomorrow? How do you see tomorrow? Some of the things that I'm going to be sharing today has to do with the way we see. How do you see? Do you see situations half full or half empty? Are you a positive person or are you a negative person? Do you always find excuses for things not to happen in your life? Are you always thinking it can't be done? Are you always thinking it's not possible? Are you always thinking it's not attainable? That is what you need to shatter. That is what you need to engage in. That is what you need to flush out of your life and out of your system. You need to ensure that you break the barriers of your mind. You need to ensure that you break the strongholds of your mind. You need to shatter those things that makes you less than you should be. You need to engage your mind. You need to see well. You need to see things in a brighter way, in a brighter fashion. You need to mind the things that you see. You need to mind the things that you watch. You need to mind the things that you speak, because from your thinking thoughts comes your speaking words. From your thinking thoughts comes your speaking words. You need to think well. You need to see well. You know, stuff might happen around you. Depending on how you see, which we call perspective, that will determine your next step. That will determine how far you go. Your ability to think well is very important. Your ability to see well, it's very important. Your ability to speak well is very, very important. So your thinking, your seeing, and your speaking, these are all ways that help us to channel into a better tomorrow. So you've had a very rough past, for instance. Are you going to allow that past to dictate your tomorrow? No, no, you shouldn't. You should not allow your past to dictate your today or your tomorrow. You should break the power of the past off of your life and realize that tomorrow or even today portends a greater day. Today portends greatness. Today portends greatness. So, in order to expand your scope, in order to expand your horizon, you must watch what you think, you must watch what you see, and you must watch how you speak. How you speak matters. If you keep talking yourself down and keep saying things like, it can't be done, it's not possible, I can't make it, I can't do well, these things are self limiting, and they will not allow you to expand your scope and expand your horizons. So, how you think, it's critical. How you see is important. What you say is very, very, very critical. You have to also take calculated risk. I'm not for uh, I'm not for taking risk just for the sake of them. No, you have to take calculated risk. Where you are now, is that where you want to be? If the answer is no, then you have to do things differently. You have to leave sometimes your comfort zone to go to places you've never been before. You have to do things you've never done before. You have to take calculated risk and ensure that you break the barriers that have a way and a tendency of choking you in and of holding you down. You have to break anything that has a way of 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 combating your skills, of choking your creativity. You have to break all of those barriers. You have to take calculated risk. Take calculated risk. Take calculated risk. Take, for example, on a personal level, I've been trying to sell a stock of books for years and years and years. And recently, I met a guy who said to me, they can help me sell these books. Well, I don't know if they're scammers or not. I have to do my due diligence. I have to check them out. I have to be sure that they are the right people that I want to deal with. I have to ensure that I'm not, falling into any trap of the enemy. But it's important that I take the risk, because if I don't take the risk, I'm not going to get the gain. So no risk, no gain. The higher the risk, the higher the gain. You see, it's 50-50. It depends, but you have to take calculated risk. The next point is go out of your comfort zone. Go out of your comfort zone. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different set of results. It's not going to happen. You cannot continue to do the same things. You wake up at the same time, you eat the same foods, and you have the same friends, you take the same routes all the time, and you expect changes. That's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You have to do things differently. You have to try new routes. You have to even change your diet sometimes. You have to do things differently. You have to expand your network. You have to expand your network. You have to expand the scope of your friendships, your contact. You have to reach out, to mentors, to people that you know can help your cause. Because if you just sit there and keep praying and hoping that things will change, my brother, my sister, things might not change. You've got to put in the work, you've got to take the risk, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. Finally, execute, execute, execute. Whatever the plan you have in your mind, whatever things you need to change, whatever moves you need to make, you have to execute, 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 execute. Today, I woke up and I was upbeat and I knew I was going to do great things today. I just knew it. But beyond knowing is actually doing. You have to do what you've got to do. You have to do what you have to do. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the needed work that is necessary. You have to do all that you know to do to ensure that you get from where you are to where you know you ought to be. If you don't do it, nobody is going to do it. People might say, I'm going to help you. People might promise you heaven and earth. But at the end of the day, your life, your destiny is in your hands. With God on your side, there are great and marvelous possibilities. I will stop here today. We will continue in the next video shoot. I pray God keeps us. I pray God blesses us. I pray that this month particularly is a wonderful month. God bless.